800 years ago, there was this guy, or maybe a legend named Joyboy. He's not a pirate king like Gold Roger, not a Yonko like Kaido, and definitely not a Marine. He's something way bigger. Joyboy is a figure from a time called the Void Century, a mysterious 100-year chunk of history that's been totally erased from the world. No books, no ruins, nothing. And that's all thanks to the world government, the big bosses who run everything in One Piece. The world government won a massive war against a super powerful kingdom during the Void Century, and they decided to wipe out every trace of it. Why? Because whatever happened back then was so dangerous, they didn't want anyone to know about it. But here's the thing. They couldn't destroy everything scattered across the world, are these indestructible stone tablets called poneglyphs. They're written in a super old language that almost no one can read, except for one person, Nico Robin, the Straw Hat Pirate's awesome archaeologist. Robin's the one who first introduced us to Joyboy during the Fishman Island arc. She found a poneglyph that wasn't just some boring history lesson. It was an apology written by Joyboy himself. Yeah, you heard that right, an apology from 800 years ago. So, what was Joyboy sorry about? Let's break it down. The broken promise. Joyboy and Fishman Island. Okay, so this poneglyph on Fishman Island tells us that Joyboy made a promise to the people there, specifically to someone called Poseidon now. Poseidon isn't just anyone. She was a mermaid princess back then, and she had this insane power to talk to sea kings, those massive, godlike creatures that live deep in the ocean. No, the promise was all about a huge ship called Noah, which is still sitting at the bottom of the sea near Fishman Island. Here's the deal. Joyboy wanted to use the sea kings to lift Noah up to the surface. Why? To bring the fishmen and merfolk to live with humans and other races, creating a world where everyone's united. Sounds amazing, right? But something went wrong. For reasons we still don't know, Joyboy couldn't keep his promise. Instead, he carved an apology into that poneglyph, basically saying, "I'm so sorry, I couldn't make it happen." The fishmen didn't give up, though. They kept Noah safe, passed down the story, and waited for someone to come along and finish what Joyboy started. It's like they believed in him so much that they knew someone would pick up where he left off. And that's where things start to get really interesting. Tsunesha, the giant elephant with a secret. Joyboy's story doesn't stop with Fishman Island. He had a friend, a massive friend. Meet Tsunesha, a colossal elephant who's 35 kilometers tall. That's taller than some of the Sky Islands in One Piece. Tsunesha's so big that an entire civilization, the Minks, built their home, called Zoo, on his back. Yeah, this elephant's been walking the seas for 800 years, carrying a whole city. Here's the wild part. Tsunesha's not just some random creature. 800 years ago, he committed a crime. Nobody knows exactly what, and as punishment, he was forced to wander the oceans forever. But Tsunesha's not just a walking island. He can talk using something called the voice of all things. This is a rare power that lets certain people, like Gold D, Roger, Luffy, and Momonosuke, hear things that others can't, like poneglyphs or even Tsunesha himself. During the Zoo and Wano arcs, we find out that Tsunesha used to follow Joyboy's orders. And guess what? He listens to Momonosuke and Luffy too. In the big battle against Kaido, Momonosuke actually commanded Tsunesha to help, and the elephant broke his 800-year punishment to join the fight. This raises some huge questions. Why does Tsunesha listen to Momonosuke and Luffy? Are they connected to Joyboy somehow? And what was Tsunesha's crime? Was it tied to Joyboy's failed promise? Or maybe a rebellion against the world government? We don't know yet, but it's clear Joyboy's influence was huge. Laugh Tale, the treasure Joyboy left behind. Now, let's talk about the place every One Piece fan dreams about. Laugh Tale, the final island of the Grand Line. When Gold D. Roger, the Pirate King, reached Laugh Tale, he didn't just find treasure, he found something left by Joyboy. Roger named the islet Laugh Tale because whatever he saw there made him and his crew laugh like crazy. It wasn't just gold or jewels, it was the truth about the Void Century, the ancient weapons, the world government, and Joyboy's story. Roger was so amazed by Joyboy that he said he wished he lived in Joyboy's time. That's how epic this guy was. But Roger also realized something. He was too early. The world wasn't ready for what Joyboy started. Someone else had to come along. Someone who could finish Joyboy's mission. And that's when the prophecy of Joyboy's return starts to take shape. The prophecy, Joyboy's return. Enter Kazuki Odan, the legendary samurai from Wano and one of Roger's crewmates. When Odin went to Laugh Tale with Roger, he learned the secrets of the world, including a prophecy. Joyboy would return about 800 years after the Void Century, roughly 20 years after Roger's journey. And where would he show up? Wano country. Odin made it his mission to open Wano's borders to prepare prepare for Joyboy's return. Sadly, he died before he could make it happen, but he passed down his dream to his son, Momonosuke, and left instructions in his logbook. Meanwhile, across the seas, a certain rubbery pirate was making waves. Monkey D. Luffy. Luffy and the drums of liberation. Alright, let's get to the moment that changed everything. In the Wano arc, Luffy's fighting Kaido, one of the strongest guys in the world. Things look bad. Luffy takes a brutal hit and his heartbeat stops, but then something insane happens. His heart starts beating again, but it's not normal. It's got this weird rhythmic sound like drums. Zunisha hears it and says something that blows everyone's mind. A Joyboy has returned. Luffy gets back up, but he's different. His hair's white, his clothes are glowing, and he's laughing like a total goofball. This is Gear 5, and it's not just a power-up, it's the awakening of Luffy's true devil fruit. Plot twist, Luffy's fruit was never just the Gum Gum fruit. It's actually a mythical Zoan fruit called the Hito Hito no Mi model Sun God Nika. Yeah, Luffy's basically a god now. Who is Sun God Nika? So, who's this Sun God Nika? We first hear about him during the Wano arc from a guy named Who's Who, a former CP9 agent. He tells a story he heard in prison about a legendary warrior called Nika, a godlike figure who brought hope, freedom, and laughter to enslaved people. Nika was always smiling, dancing, and fighting with these crazy cartoonish powers. Sound familiar? That's exactly what Luffy's like in Gear 5. When Luffy awakens Gear 5, he's bending reality, laughing like a maniac, and fighting with powers that don't even make sense, like turning the ground into rubber or pulling cartoonish weapons out of nowhere. It's like he's a living cartoon. And that heartbeat? Zunisha calls it the drums of liberation, a sound tied to Joyboy and Nika. It's like Luffy's heart is waking up something ancient that's been waiting for centuries. Kaido's obsession with Joyboy. Here's another crazy twist. Kaido, the big bad of Wano, was waiting for Joyboy. In a flashback, we see his right-hand man King remind him of the prophecy that Joyboy would return to Wano. Kaido fought tons of people, hoping one of them would be Joyboy, but they all failed. When Luffy fell during their fight, Kaido looked at him and said, "Ah, so, you couldn't be Joyboy either." But here's the thing, Kaido thought Joyboy was all about strength. He tried to change the world through fear and domination. Luffy? He's the opposite. He brings people together with laughter, friendship, and pure willpower. That's why Luffy's the true Joyboy, not just because of his power, but because of his heart. Why Joyboy matters. So, what's the big deal with Joyboy? He's not just some old legend. He's the key to unlocking the secrets of the Void Century, the Ancient Kingdom, and the One Piece itself. Luffy's not just chasing treasure, he's carrying Joyboy's will, fighting for a world where everyone's free. Whether Joyboy and Nika are the same person, reincarnations, or just share the same dream, one thing's clear, Luffy's their successor. The world government's terrified of Joyboy's return because his power, his joy, could shake the world to its core. And with Luffy out there laughing, fighting, and inspiring everyone, something tells me the world's not ready for what's coming next. Whew, that was a lot, right? Joyboy's story is one of the coolest parts of One Piece, and we're just scratching the surface. From his broken promise to Fishman Island, to his giant elephant buddy Zunisha, to Luffy becoming the sun god Nika, this mystery is what makes One Piece so epic. And the best part? The story's not over yet. What do you think? Is Luffy really Joyboy reborn? Or is there more to the story? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's get this convo going. If you loved this deep dive, give us a like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you're ready when the next piece of the One Piece puzzle drops. We're aiming for 500 likes. Can we make it happen? Let's keep sailing together, crew. See you in the next one.